archaeologists are pretty smart. They all use the same architecture vocabulary so that they can all understand what they're talking about when they're talking about ancient architecture. So today we're going to start out with covering a couple key terms that are important to know when studying ancient Greece, and then take a look at some of those key architecture vocabulary words using the Parthenon as a case study. By now, I hope the word Parthenon is familiar. It is the main temple on the Athenian Acropolis and dedicated to the Greek goddess Athena. The word Acropolis is the word for the tall, rocky mountain located in downtown Athens. Acropolis means high city in Greek because it's up on a mountain. And Athens is one of the leading city-states of ancient Greece. They're known for a big navy, for impressive temples, and a really strong trade industry as well. The top triangular frame of a temple is called a pediment. Beneath that, there's a section called the entablature, and we'll talk more about entablatures in a second. Temples have tall pillars. On the Parthenon, these are Doric columns. Some temples might have Ionic columns or Corinthian columns. And there might be columns on your house or a house in your neighborhood or even in a building in a town or city near you. And simply, the bottom of an ancient temple can be called a base. A really important feature called a Doric frieze is found in the entablature. And a Doric frieze has two parts, triglyphs and metopes. A triglyph is a panel that has two little grooves in it so that it looks like it's made up of three parts. And a metope is the square space between the triglyphs. What I really like about metopes is that when they have sculpture, the sculptures are usually scenes from pretty common mythology, sometimes things like labors of Heracles or Theseus or gods versus giants. And here on the Parthenon, it's Lapiths versus centaurs. So that's a mythological tribe from northern Greece versus half-man, half-horse creatures. Another important term to know is architectural refinement. This is a change made in the architecture to improve the appearance of the structure. And specifically, it's an improvement that tricks our round human eyes. So take a look at the plan on the left here and the plan on the right. The one on the left is a blueprint. It's a bird's eye view of the walls and the columns represented by those little dots. The one on the right is the same plan, except this one shows the refinements. Another refinement in the columns is that they are widest about 1/3 of the way up, kind of where you see those brackets in the star. And though you'll see some of these columns up close in the architecture challenge, sometimes it's helpful to see a drawing as proof of the refinements. And while we're talking about columns, it's helpful to know that the capital is the word for the top part of a column, kind of where the shaft of the column meets the entablature section above it. The capitals can tell you whether the column is in the Doric order of architecture, where the capital is plain with kind of a slightly sloped top, or if it is in the Ionic order, which has a scrolled sort of volute shape up at the top of it. And you can see two examples of those here.